What's up guys, welcome back from the Yugioh Pro Duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup, second match here. On the left side of the top 16 bracket we have Paleos from 2017 versus Performances and Pals from 2015. So the decklist you see here, obviously OCG format, not the Ariadne build, even though it's running main decking 2 Solemn Strikes in a main deck. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Pretty much Performances and Pals almost at full force, not having access to Constellar, Ptolemaios and Cyber Dragon Affinity. The second list we have 60 card Paleos, of course having access to Cross looks greener. So which deck has the advantage? Seeing from the votes from the previous video is that about 70% of the votes seem that Performances and Pals should win this one over Paleos, and I'm honest, and I was like, before this matchup, I personally felt that Paleos would have like the advantage, right? I mean, the Spell and Trap Destruction, Dimensional Barrier, the Solemn Brigade, you know, Cross looks greener, Card of the Mice, those big plus cards. But, you know, and one of the comments also mentioned is that Paleos definitely they want to go first. If that's not the case, the deck almost feels like a goner going second, especially against a deck that can pump out Shockmaster quite easily. And second is that this deck is not running any hand traps for the most obvious reason, like, you know, Card of the Mice. And grass, right? But that's, I mean, that's an obvious pick. So, Swapfrog gets effect failured, and let's say if you went first and your opponent immediately used up the effect failure on just a normal summon of Swapfrog, that's like, okay, it's a hinder. Obviously you want to mill like Ronin Toadin, but going first, that's not that devastating. But going second against like modern standard decks that pump out big boards, you really can't afford losing the turn here. And yeah, that kind of bites me. But yeah, let's face it, that effect failure wasn't really the thing that lost me the duel. So game number 2, and I'm going first this time, obviously. Immediately, you know, use Card of the Mice, getting those beneficial draws, set up the graveyard with at least one Paleozoic trap card, and I believe the breakthrough skill as well. So use the Marella to set up the Lost Winds, and yeah, the Twin Twister definitely is a big blowout. Luckily the Solemn Warning, I believe, was missed, and that helps out, since again the Pendulum Summon is still live, and I believe again one of the sets being Lost Wind, and yeah, there it is, the Solemn Warning. I guess PePe kinda took a risk, right? I mean, you're playing against a deck that has the ability to, I believe, main decking triple strike and 1 Solemn Warning. Okay, it's a 60 card deck. What are the chances, especially after a Twin Twister? You know, the chances are somewhat small, but it's there, and it indeed was there. So I can definitely have a comeback here, thanks to, you know, double Paleo, going for Opabinia as well to get the Surge first of all, and going for Totally Awesome, trying to get control back in the duel. So going for DupeFrog to kind of protect Totally Awesome. But I think we knew there was the monkey board, and I was like, well, maybe I could not, or at least maybe I should not have negated the monkey board here, but I was like, well, I mean, it's a 1-card scale, your opponent getting the free Pendulum scale. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use Totally Awesome. If there is a Pendulum Summon following up with like a Joker or maybe another monkey board, well, tough luck, right? But then again, double Lost Wind to get me back in the duel. Because again, that needs, or at least you're asking a lot of resources from your opponent, especially after like the first monkey board getting negated. So yeah, going for another copy of Totally Awesome, and Lost Wind definitely helped out, like dropping the Utopia to like, you know, half of the attack stat. And I'm honest, I kind of overlooked the Lizard Draw, its monster effect, you know. But in the long run, it's not going to bite me. Double Ravering Eyes is, could be clutch, but I think there were maybe other plays that Performances and Pals could have made. Not really sure, since, I mean, Castell, again, it's just going to be met by the second copy of Lost Wind. And he knew that, right? That was, you know, public knowledge, the Lost Wind being set there. So entering Scoop Phase 1-1. So next tool, going second obviously, and I mean, looking at my opening hand, I see the Solemn Strike going second. That's not that great, because again, well, no, that's not true. You're playing against a deck that has the ability to pump out Shockmaster, right? So The Solemn Strike might indeed be good, following up game number, or at least, yeah, the turn number 3, like immediately hitting the Shockmaster if I don't have any other options, like, for example, the Dynamiscus, right? So Dweller hits the board, Shockmaster calling spells, I assume, with triple Desires, triple Demise, triple Grass looks greener, and yeah, next turn I do up to immediately flip over Dynamiscus, not giving the Shockmaster the, you know, the ability to use or call upon its effects. But again, I met with a Twin Twister directly chaining to Dynamiscus. Again, it's not a cost, so I can't, you know, like chain one of the targeted trap cards to immediately like activate the engrave Paleo that I, let's say, would have discarded with Dynamiscus. But yeah, I mean, this is a quick, this is definitely going to be a quick game number 3. Ignister hits the board, Dynaster also hits the board, and Lavalval Chain is super powerful in that deck, giving the deck access to maybe the second copy of Damage Juggler or Sephiroth as well, bouncing back a monkey board, and yeah, what can I do? Even though I do have Cross looks greener. So game number 4, going first. Yeah, okay. 60 cards, but again, you know, you're playing a deck that always opens up Cross looks greener. Not really, but I do, at least I was able to again use up or activate Cross, getting those 20 mils, and not really sure. Ah yeah, okay, my sets are the Torrential Tribute, maybe, you know, like not giving you up. Well, maybe I should have waited for the potential Shockmaster. Not really sure if that was indeed the plan there, but I mean, you could head trigger being the 3rd summon. And I'm honest, this is kinda a steal, you know, I believe we knew it was there, the backjack effect, putting the dimensional barrier on top of the deck and, you know, using the effect during your opponent's turn, and you are able to use the same trap card revealed of backjack that, you know, you're just set in the same turn, and again, I'm honest, that pretty much the dimensional barrier stealing the game, right? So Opabinia, and you know, like this should be my duel, especially because I'm able to use Dynamiscus directly from my hand, banishing one of the scales, and I believe we know there is the second copy of a damaged juggler in the graveyard, and I believe the only target that it's able to search is the Mirror Conductor, which I believe is also a low scale, just like the Pendulum monster, the normal Pendulum here in the lower scale, right? So just going for totally awesome, I should be going for the rank 2, 3 material one. Again, my duel. If this is not game, I mean, I have a negation, I have the 3 material rank 2 on my side of the field to go for destruction interruption. So yeah, the also important game number 5, and I was like, well, I see my opening hand, and this is not good, definitely not good. Going second also, I believe I side-decked in like Dark Holes, Raigeki as well, especially, well, okay, not really sure, but again, most of the time, if the deck is able to go for Shockmaster, I assume you would call spells, right? Yeah, might be. But then again, Backjack, not that great. Foolish Burial, maybe as a... Well, going first, it might be okay to go for, let's say, a first turn, totally awesome. But against a Shockmaster, a fully loaded Pendulum Scale, and, you know, you see there's also a Maxi or double Maxi in hand for some, you know, like just in case some extra draws. If I had like, you know, Swap Frog and Ronin in hand to go for the first turn, totally awesome play, then Maxi would have kind of punished that one. So... Again, it felt like a losing battle, and the thing with the deck is that, you know, you're just keeping your Pendulum Summon first, or before, you know, like, or after, you want to force out your opponent's back row with, like, Diamond Direwolf or Ignister, right? So... Again, the second copy of Ignister hits the board, and let's face it, this should have been game, I guess. Just like, I believe it was in the first duel, I believe the card is called Trapeze Magician, that gives you the, you know, like, target any monster on your side of the field, and that a monster can attack twice. I believe that was, you know, or at least maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, not sure about it, but I don't think so. I mean, you obviously can't make it with the Luster Pendulum itself, but with any generic level 4 monsters you can make it. But yeah, it's not going to matter, right? My set is going to be not useful here in this situation because it's going to get bounced back by Ignister and a losing battle. But I felt that this match could have been over a bit too, or at least sooner, especially in game number 2. But that's how it is. So PePe is going to move on to the next round. I feel it's well deserved. It felt indeed like the better deck, even though I felt before this matchup Peleos I felt had like the advantage, but I was wrong. So PePe is moving on. Next matchup, all the way on top we have Heroes, Modern Heroes from 2019 versus Thunderride, also from the same year if I'm not mistaken, or very close to it. So feel free to leave your prediction. Okay guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.